Best free upgrade for the Slash Traxxas two-wheel drive starts with this thing. Let's get started. First things first, let's take off the wheel. Take off the wheel that's on the side of the transmission. First thing you want to do is remove the screw here and the screw down here. Now they are Phillips for the stock ones. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver. With the screws out, you can now take off the cover. So here we have the spur gear, and there's the pinion gear. What we're going to want to do is unscrew this screw and this screw to allow the motor to come out. Both Phillips heads. Now, you can go ahead and leave this screw in there. You can get it from the back side for next time. Now that you have your motor loose, what you're going to want to do is grab some water. Make sure it's either distilled or RO water. Not just straight out of the tap, especially if you have a well, there's just too many minerals in it. Okay, so we got the motor loose. We are simply going to unhook the motor, and you can do that by holding it here and simply pulling them apart. So there you have it, motor's loose. Okay, now that you've disconnected it from the terminals, the other thing you're going to want to do is take your pinion off. You can leave it on there, but it creates way too much current in the water, and the water will just come flying out of whatever you're doing. So remove that set screw, pull it on out. Now you're going to want to put it into the water. Leaving these out of the water and then through the lid. Go ahead, hook your wires back up. Red to red, black to black, obviously. Don't screw this up. I'm trying to lean the... That didn't work. This can get a little bit tricky on how to do this and how to set it up, but basically you're going to want to turn on your remote, turn on your car, and you're going to run the throttle very slowly. The reason you're going to do it slowly is you don't want it twisting in there. Okay, turn it off. So here is the first one. I mean, look how dirty that is. Holy cow. Let's dump it and get some more water. Okay, so we're back with some clear water. Done this rinse once already, and we're just gonna do it again. So remote on, link together. Again, key is to do it slowly. Do it slowly so it doesn't rip the cord or the wires off of the. Okay, let's take it out. Okay, now that you've cleaned it out with the water, you can either be done with it here or you can go a step farther. I have this, which is WD contact cleaner. The contact cleaner is what you're looking for. It doesn't need to be WD-40. All right, careful, it's flammable. You're simply going to hold it upright and spray it in here. You can see all of what's coming out. Tip it over, do the exact same. Okay. Now, once you're done doing that, what you're gonna wanna do is blow this out. So you can either leave it like this, upright, and that's okay. It just takes a little bit longer. Stuff that you put in your keyboard or computer, whatever the case might be. I think it's in the electronics section of like a Menards or Home Depot. And you're just blowing it out. Okay, now you let this sit. Lean it upright. Just like that. So once you've let that dry for a little bit, next thing you want to do is apply some oil to it. So I always use this 3-in-1. I don't know, I mean they make other stuff for it, but this is, I think I paid about $3 for it, so it'll last you a long time. So you're just putting it right where the shaft is. And you know, you don't need to put a ton of it on there, but make sure it's covered. Reach down to the bottom, okay, for the shaft and just spin it a little bit. Okay, that way it gets up in the bearings, follows down the shaft, okay? Flip it over, do the exact same right here. Go ahead and spin it. Okay, time to put the motor back in. So it's pretty much a reverse process. Start the motor in there and feel for the screw. You can feel it pulling the motor. Okay, now it comes time to set the gear mesh. So get your pinion, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this screw, and I'll show you why in a second. You're gonna want some blue Loctite thread locker blue, okay? Make sure it's the blue kind. A good tip with the blue thread lock is give it a squeeze. Obviously you want the cap on, but give it a squeeze just to mix this up, okay? Don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelf when you buy it, so just a good practice to have. All right, so next you'll take your screw with your thread lock and apply, and try not to do that. Rookie. Thread first, put it onto it. Now, you're gonna wanna line up, if you're looking over the top of it, in line, we want your pinion and your spur to be lined up, okay? Side to side. So you don't want it over here where it's only catching half, or way over here. You want it lined up perfectly. okay? And then what you're gonna wanna do is rotate it. There's a flat spot right here on that shaft. Rotate it so the set screw is right above it. Okay, pinch it down with your fingers. And you're gonna wanna tighten that down, okay? Come back, tighten it down a little bit more. Okay, here's how you set the gear mesh. Now this is basically straight out of the manual on how to do that. Once you get a little bit more established, you can kind of set it by feel, but I always tighten this one down, and this is the one that you want to rotate. So you're gonna want to tighten it, but not real tight, okay? Because you want the motor to be able to slide. So that's about where you want it. Okay, it's not falling. Grab yourself a piece of paper, and you are going to want to slide the piece of paper between and push, okay, with some force. Now you want to tighten them up. Now you rotate out to make sure it's not tearing on it, okay? And that's about perfect. You want a little bit of wiggle room. Like, you don't want it so locked in there that you're gonna tear it up. But if you have it too loose, it will wreck this plastic spur gear. So you want just a little tiny bit of play right there, okay? That's about perfect. And then from here, put the cover back on. Okay, so there you go. That's the best free upgrade advice I can give you. I call it an upgrade because when it's dirty and you can hear it, it's really hard on the motor. So you will get better performance by keeping this thing clean. That's ultimately what it's about. So thank you so much.